Deciding to outsource your software development, that's a huge strategic move for any company. So today, we're going to lay out a really clear roadmap, showing you exactly how you can use outsourcing to really grow your business. All right, let's dive in. So picture this. You've got a brilliant idea for an app, right? Or maybe a new platform. The vision is crystal clear in your head, but you just don't have the in-house tech team to build it. Sound familiar? This is such a common roadblock, and it's exactly where the whole outsourcing conversation gets started. It's all about taking that idea and making it real without missing a beat. Okay, so here's what we're going to cover. We'll kick things off by explaining the different outsourcing models. Then we'll get into the core benefits, break down the costs, show you how to find that perfect partner, and wrap up by talking about how to handle the common risks. Simple as that. All right, first things first, let's get the fundamentals down. Before you can even think about who you're going to work with, you really need to understand what kind of partnership you're even looking for. It's all about finding the perfect fit for what you need to get done. So what are we really talking about here? Well, at its heart, software outsourcing is pretty straightforward. It's just the practice of hiring an outside team to handle some or maybe even all of your development tasks. Think of it as bringing in specialists to build, maintain, or even upgrade your software. Okay, so let's break down the main options, because location is a huge factor. You've got offshoring, right? That's where you get those lower labor costs, but you've got to juggle time zones and potential cultural differences. Then there's onshoring, working with a team in your own country. No communication barriers, which is great, but it's usually the priciest route. Nearshoring is that sweet spot in the middle, giving you a good balance of cost and proximity. And finally, you can go hybrid, mixing and matching, but just be ready for some extra complexity in managing everyone. All right, so we've covered the what. Now let's get to the fun part, the why. Why is outsourcing such a massive game changer for so many businesses? Let's dig into the three biggest benefits. Let's be real, this is the big one for a lot of folks, saving on costs. And when you outsource, you're not just saving on a developer's salary. Think about it. You're getting rid of all those other costs. Recruitment, training, benefits, even the office space and computers. The outsourcing partner takes care of all that stuff. And then there's this. You get to tap into a global talent pool. Seriously, you're no longer stuck with just the developers you can find in your local area. Suddenly, you have access to experts in super specific technologies or industries from all over the world. That means fresh ideas and a whole new level of skill for your project. And this is a huge strategic advantage. By handing off the technical heavy lifting to a team of experts, you free up your own people to do what they do best. They can focus on the core of your business, sales, marketing, strategy, customer support, the stuff that really drives growth. Okay, let's talk money. Time to get practical. The thing about the cost of outsourcing is, it's not just one number. The final price tag is shaped by a few key things, and you really need to get a handle on them to plan your budget. So there are really four main things that are going to determine what you pay. First up, where your partner is located. That's a big one for labor costs. Second, the skill level and experience of the developers you need. Are we talking junior or senior? Third, how complex is your project? And finally, your timeline. How fast do you need this thing built? And yeah, believe me, location matters a lot. Just look at this. The cost for developers can be wildly different depending on the region. This is exactly why a lot of companies start looking at places like Eastern Europe, for example. You can often find that sweet spot of top-tier talent without the top-tier price tag. Okay, this might be the most important part of our whole chat today. Finding the right partner is, without a doubt, the number one thing that will make or break your project. So, to make it easier, we've boiled it down to a simple 5-step guide. Step 1, and you can't skip this, is to really analyze your own needs. Get super clear on your requirements, your budget, your timeline. Once you've got that, you can start researching promising companies. Then you've got to do your homework. Dive into their portfolios, check out their past work, read their case studies. Once you've got a shortlist, ask them for proposals. And finally, lock it all down with a solid contract. Seriously, follow these steps and you're on the right path. Okay, let's be honest. No big business move is totally risk-free, and outsourcing is no exception. But the trick isn't to be scared of the risks, it's to see them coming and have a plan. So let's talk about the common bumps in the road and, more importantly, how to make sure your project stays safe. So here are the big ones to keep an eye on. First, communication. Yeah, time zones and language barriers can be tricky. Then you've got cultural differences. Different work styles can sometimes clash. Data security is another huge one. You have to protect your ideas and your data. And of course, just managing a project with a team that's far away can be a challenge. Finally, you don't want to become too dependent on just one partner, especially if they're in a less stable area. So what's the defense against all that? It all comes down to being proactive. It really boils down to three key things: clear, constant communication, a rock-solid contract that covers everything, and a good what-if plan. A contingency plan, just in case things don't go perfectly. So after all of that, what's the big takeaway here? It's this: outsourcing is so much more than just a way to save a few bucks. When you find the right partner, it becomes a powerful strategic move that can seriously accelerate your growth and spark real innovation. So I'll leave you with this question. What could you build if you had a world-class team of experts at your fingertips? Your next huge innovation, it might just be one partnership away. The real question is, are you ready to go find it?